15 Best Defenders in NBA History. Hello and welcome back to our YouTube channel, Defense Wins Championships. As the saying goes in sports, the NBA is no different. With today's game featuring so many great scorers, having a lockdown defense on your team is essential for winning games. A good defender can help you win a losing game. If you're a basketball fan, you might know about some of the best defenders and you might be a fan too. So here are our best picks for the top 15 best defenders in NBA history. Number 15 is Kobe Bryant. During his career, Bryant is known for hitting difficult shots and game winners. He was also one of the best defensive players of his time. During his career, Kobe was named to 12 all-defensive teams and was known for shutting down top NBA players night after night. Number 14 is Tim Duncan. The big fundamental was not known for his defense, but he was unquestionably one of the best defenders in the game at the time. Duncan was named into an NBA record 15 all-defensive teams, meaning he was only left off the list 4 times during his career. Duncan is one of the best players and defenders of all time because of his consistency and brilliance. Number 13 is Wilt Chamberlain. Wilt the Stilt was arguably the most dominant player in the game's history. Unfortunately for basketball fans, he played in an era before defensive stats were recorded and he only appeared in 5 all-defensive teams during his career. Regardless, Wilt is known as one of the game's defensive greats due to his dominance over his opponents. Number 12 is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is most recognized for being the NBA's all-time top scorer, but he is also one of the game's best defenders. Kareem had 7 seasons in which he averaged more than 3 blocks, including his first 4 seasons when he didn't have any. He was named to the all-defensive team 11 times and 4 times led the league in block shots. Number 11 is Ben Wallace. Typically, a player must be an excellent offensive player to be considered one of the best of his generation. Wallace, who was one of the league's best players in the early to mid-2000s, but wasn't a difference maker in the offensive end, didn't fit into that category, leading the league in blocks in 1 season, and was chosen to the NBA All-Defensive First Team 5 times in a row. Only Wallace and Dikembe Mutombo have won the DPOY award 4 times. Wallace was a 4-time NBA All-Star and was placed in the top 8 in MVP voting in 2 of those seasons as a result of his defensive prowess.
For that pick, and Pat Garrity getting caught flat-footed there, trying to help out.
Number 10 is Kawhi Leonard. Leonard was the best defender in NBA right now, and he has been named the All-Defensive Team 5 times and is the 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. Winning the DPOY award is no easy task, especially for a tiny forward. Leonard's outstanding perimeter defense has helped him win 2 NBA titles, one as a reserve player and with the Spurs, and the second as a star with the Raptors.
Up with the buzzer, banks it in! Oh, he banks in the 3!
Number 9 is Dwight Howard. For years while playing with the Orlando Magic, Dwight Howard was the undisputed best defensive player in the NBA from 2009 to 2011. Howard was named the Defensive Player of the Year 3 times in a row. Howard was able to dictate the tempo of the game from the defensive end, leading the league in blocks twice and rebounding 5 times. While Howard is no longer the difference maker, he once was and remains an above-average defender from the center position.
To get tired. Down the middle he goes, corner of the key! He's got another one!
Number 8 is Gary Payton. You don't obtain a moniker like the Glove unless you're capable to defend. Payton is the only point guard in NBA history to have won the Defensive Player of the Year award in 1996. It led to averaging a minimum of 2 steals per game in 8 of his first 9 seasons in the league and leading the league in his category once. Payton was a hard worker who was recognized for his wide but effective defensive posture. The Oakland native was a master of angling his body to keep opponents from beating him off the dribble, earning him a spot in the NBA's All-Defensive First Team 9 times in a row. Number 7 is Walt Frazier. The NBA didn't start recording steals until the 1973 and 1974 season. 6 years after Frazier's debut, in his 7th and 8th seasons in the league, Atlanta native averaged 2.0 and 2.4 thefts per game, respectively. So it's safe to assume that he was averaging just as much as earlier in his career. Many people believe that Frazier had the fastest hands of anyone who's ever played in the NBA, as he was chosen to 7 straights in the NBA All-Defensive First Teams from 1969 to 1975. He had incredible instincts and anticipation, which allowed him to often steal the ball away from opponents. Number 6 is Dennis Rodman. Rodman, who was a defensive catalyst for the Pistons during the bad boy period, and then with MJ's Bulls in the late 1990s, could be argued to have played with more heart, passion, and energy than any other player in league history. The Worm was always regarded as the finest defender in the bunch during a time when the NBA had multiple all-great power forwards like Karl Malone, Charles Barkley, and Shawn Kemp. Rodman was nominated to the NBA All-Star Defensive First Team 7 times and won the Defensive Player of the Year award in back-to-back years in 1990 to 1991.
Woolridge takes it inside. No. Rodman attempt.
Number 5 is Dikembe Mutombo. When we think of Mutombo, the first thing that springs to mind is the distinctive finger wag. Even now, years after his retirement from the game, Mutombo can be seen doing the finger wag in ads. Throughout his career, Mutombo's hallmark act served as a reminder of how dangerous a defender, and more specifically, a shot blocker he was. He was the NBA's leading blocker for 3 consecutive seasons and ranks second all-time in block shots. He is one of only 2 players in NBA history to claim the DPOY 4 times.
Williams in the penetration, and it's knocked away by Mutombo, but
Number 4 is Hakeem Olajuwon. Olajuwon was one of the 4 players in NBA history to record a quadruple-double. He has been the Defensive Player of the Year twice. A player's devotion to defense is demonstrated when he blocks 10 or more shots on the same night when he scores double figures in points, rebounds, and assists. Olajuwon, a 2-time NBA champion and a 12-time All-Star, has led the league in block shots 3 times and is the NBA's all-time leader in blocks. Number 3 is Michael Jordan. Of course, we all remember Michael Jordan as the greatest scorer in NBA history. His legacy will live on for generations, and he is arguably responsible for the league's current popularity and expansion. Despite this, Jordan dominated every element of the game, including the defensive end, winning Defensive Player of the Year in 1988 and appearing on the 9 all-defensive teams during his 14-year career as the best player the game has ever seen. Number 2 is Scottie Pippen. Because he spent the majority of his career playing alongside the greatest player in NBA history, Pippen is perhaps one of the most underappreciated players in the league history. Before LeBron James entered the game, Pippen was the ultimate two-way player, capable of locking down and guarding league's most talented and physically gifted players with ease, becoming the ideal complement for MJ and the one key reasons why the Bulls were so dominant. And on the number 1 spot is Bill Russell. The number 1 spot goes to Bill Russell. We can only imagine how many times Russell swatted aside a shot during his remarkable career because the NBA didn't recognize block shots as an official stat until the 1973 and 1974 season. Russell was noted for his shot blocking abilities and a man-on-man defense as an 11-time NBA champion and a 12-time All-Star. Russell's deftness on the defensive end of the court has earned him the moniker Defensive Artist. Russell would have had 13 DPOYs if they had existed during his career, 1 for each season he played. We hope you enjoyed this video. Tell us in the comment section about your favorite basketball player and what you think we might have missed. Hit the like button and share it with your friends and family members who are basketball fans. And while you're down there, make sure to subscribe if you're new and press the bell icon so you don't miss any new updates from the channel. Thank you for joining us today.